It's starting to feel like the lockdowns again, didn't it? How all that started. Well, this is from my local people in Gainsborough. Obviously, if anyone else is listening, then listen in. But got a question for you. If you've been watching the news, if you've been following this immigrant situation develop and all that, get worse, How many of our navy vessels have you seen in the English Channel? How many? I ain't seen one. I've not seen one. Not to deal with the dinghies coming over. And I've only seen one interception, I guess what you could call, from France, when they deflated the dinghy because they were on camera. Yeah. This problem's been allowed to continue, allowed to happen. Keir Starmer saying he smashed the gangs. Smashed the gangs. Is it Patrick Christie's on GBN News? Went over to Calais, organised multiple smugglings, people smuggling. Just on TikTok, just on WhatsApp, just as easy as that. Just ring them up, Oh, buddy, we'll meet you in Calais and this and that. Then went over and infiltrated 3 of the camps in different different periods of time. As easy as that. Just in Calais, walked in, no covertness. It's just out in plain day, living in sheds, living in tents in sheds, just waiting to be brought over. So how does a digital ID system do anything to stop that? We've protected our borders for, over 1,000 years? Something like that. Magna Carta since 1200, so best part of 1,000 years, really. And now we need some sort of technology to keep the borders safe. People aren't buying it. They're not buying it. Not stupid, but for the people who aren't online, for the people who don't really care that much, they're not thinking about it like that. It seems like a good idea, Please inform those people. Show them what videos you need to. Show them how it will look. Because all you have to do is show them a video of China. Just show them what China looks like, how it operates, how the society functions. Because if this goes through, you won't be able to stand up and speak. You won't be able to. If a government comes in one day and outlaws abortion, and you disagree with that, then you won't have a voice. You have to shut up and take it. Anything you disagree with, you won't have a voice to say anything about, and that's what you're going to. That's what you're going to allow for your children to be a part of as well. They're not going to have a voice. Germany employed the same system. What, in May? Let me look. End of May, beginning of July. And if these statistics are right, these off Google, only a month later, when these were recorded, over 100,000 people had entered into Germany, and they approximate that 1.2 million people are benefiting from temporary security, so asylum seeking. How's that working? It's to control us. It's not to control the black market. It's, you know what I mean? When they throw the passports over into the channel, and they come and we pick them up, they get an NI number, national insurance number. Why not take a photo of them, and then whatever age they've told us and whatever name they've given us, tie that to them? Why do we need a new system? It's not nothing to do with immigration. This is what people need educating about. Because ask them a question. What do you think a digital prison looks like? Digital prison's not being locked offline, like locked out of the online space. That's not what that is. That's a digital prison is a prison. It's a prison. You can't escape it. So if I block your access to online, I just rip out your internet box, and you ain't got no phone to go online and this and that. You could go about your business. You could travel. You could socialize. You could do things, spend your money, do whatever. Not really infected your life whatsoever. But in what's coming, if this goes through, then centralized banking, all that is a prison, because you cannot escape it. If there's a power outage, or you say something they don't like and they block you, or you've not paid your council tax on time, or whatever it is, they penalise you. You're locked out, but that affects every aspect of your life. You can't get money. You can't do things that you need to do. There's no cash. So you've got no freedom to do that. You've got no privacy to anything. This is something that we need to fight tooth and nail for. Tooth and nail. Go hard. Do everything. You shouldn't even be paying your council tax now. I'm going into my council building this in the new week on Monday, and I'm asking them, who do I speak to about revoking my council tax? I don't agree with the policies that are going on. No one's voted for them as far as I've seen. So where do I revoke my council tax in order for this to be rectified? This is mandatory. This is not an opt-in system. And I'm not losing my sovereignty, my privacy, because Keir Starmer couldn't smash the gangs, because the Tories couldn't smash the gangs, because no one can apparently patrol the border and deport people out. No, not happening. Not happening whatsoever. And it's good to see people online that have now, even though they've probably seen conspiracies and heard conspiracies, now they've seen that they've come out and said it. Now they know that it is actually going ahead. It's gone ahead, and they've got something to say about it. And people my age and younger, I'm 28. People my age and younger know that this is a bad thing. This could spell the disaster, the end of freedom, of anything, anything that doesn't conform into the government criteria or whatever society. Keir Starmer came out and said that there's speculation that the country is in turmoil, and that's just not quite the case. If you've been to your beer garden this weekend, if you've been doing this in fucking Gloucestershire or Cambridge or something, but look at channels on YouTube like Billy Moore and even if you don't like him, Charlie Veitch. He's still going around. They're documenting these places. They're going into these places that are ridden with crime, even just town centres, not even back alleys and stuff. You'd always get that stuff in back alleys, you know. Don't go down that one. That's dodgy down there. No, don't go down there. But you tell me where this is not happening. I've seen this stuff go on. I've lived in Rotherham when all this grooming stuff went on. When the taxi companies got shut down for grooming little girls and women and all the crimes that they committed. It's the severity of all this is just as important as refusing your COVID jab. And I mean, look how many people took that. You got bullied into taking it. You can be forgiven for not standing up for yourself, for not standing up for your family, for the health. You can be forgiven for that. You know, let bygones be bygones. It's not my health that is affected by you getting a jab. I weren't manipulated into getting a jab. But you will not be forgiven. The next generations, you will not be forgiven. They won't look back at us if we fail and this goes through. We won't be the heroes of the story like our ancestors were when it come to defending our shores against the Germans or whatever war. No, we'll be the people that they are disgruntled towards, because they'll think, wow, who could have allowed this to happen? Who could have allowed this to happen and not stand up for us, not do anything? The selfish fuckers, man. They couldn't even put down the distractions. They couldn't stop watching football or going to the beer gardens or doing this and doing that, going out with your friends for 5 minutes to stop us from being locked into this digital fucking prison. You can be excused for COVID. You won't be excused for this, especially by people who have witnessed it going on, watching the deterioration of their freedom. You know, if you're young, just turned 20, just turned 18 or whatever, you probably won't know how things used to be. But for anyone who's above 25, this must be horrific. This must be, you're looking at the back end of what used to be closer to a utopia than we've ever had. You know, people moan about racism and all this. That stuff almost went. You know, people had rough edges and stuff that they needed to sort out. No, sit down with your family members. Sit down with whoever you need to. This cannot go through. The central banking or whatever that comes after it, not at all. Do anything that you can. Go out and protest if that's what you think will do it. Stop paying your council tax. That will do it. Yeah? Withhold your council tax.